Hey, what is going on, guys? This is DK. Back at you with another video here to bring in the 4-game NBA main slate on Thursday. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL slates on Draftkings. If you guys cannot watch these YouTube videos, I also upload an Apple podcast. I have a link down below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you guys are interested in signing up for premium content, I'll offer that on Patreon.com. A couple different packages. My NBA package, stuff that includes, got player pool, core plays, if-then statements regarding injuries, private roster instruction videos for the main and showdown slate, and most importantly, the private live stream 30 minutes before lock to go over everything, kind of tell you guys how I'm attacking this slate. And then finally, I want to thank Underdog Fantasy, new sponsor of the show. If you guys are not familiar with Underdog or you've never heard of it, what it is they have daily fantasy snake drafts and season-long and playoff best ball formats. So if you guys... after you make your first deposit, you can enter the code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word, same promo code as PrizePicks, and you get they honor a money back guarantee up to $100. And then finally, I just want to thank you guys for the continued support. It is really, really greatly appreciated. About a couple of subscribers away from the 8,000 subscriber mark. So if you're watching this and you have not subscribed yet, would be greatly appreciated if you could hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed. Let's aim for 200 likes. And then finally, I will be doing the YouTube live stream as well before lock to go over everything and answer all your guys' questions. But yeah, with that all out of the way, let's jump into the video. So before we talk about players and their prices for this short 4-game slate, we can look back at my lineup here from Wednesday. It's been a stretch of 4 or 5 straight slates where I've just had terrible luck. And it continued today. So, I don't want to be that guy that always just complains nonstop. Like, no one likes that guy. So it's like, I'll go over it really quick, but it's like, I can only laugh at like how bad it's been last few days for me. So yeah, well, let's go over my lineup. My 2 favorite teams to target for this slate were Utah and Phoenix. Those were my 2 favorite teams, and it wasn't close. On the Utah side, it was Conley, it was Clarkson, it was Ingles, and Gobert. I had Conley and Joe Ingles in, and basically I was like, Conley I think has the higher floor, Clarkson's the higher ceiling guy. I had Ingles in. Once we got that news that Cody Zeller was starting, I was prioritizing him. So I went to Cody Zeller, got off Ingles, went up to Bridges, and well, you guys saw how that went. Mikal Bridges, I think, is shooting 10% from the field. Kendrick Nunn played about 40 minutes. And had his floor game with all those guards out. He should have had, Miami did only score 82 points, but like with everyone out, I was expecting a lot better performance there from Nunn. And then yeah, I get the lowest scoring guy from the Jazz in Conley, where Ingles, after I take him out of my lineup, just has an insane shooting game. Again, I like Joe Ingles, but just I had a little bit extra money once I went back down to Zeller, so I went up to Bridges, who was just absolutely terrible. Other pieces in my lineup, Zion Williamson, all right, 37 fancy points with 5 minutes remaining. Again, Cody Zeller was good. He was like the one major hit for me, but I'm not going to celebrate that. I'm not going to be like, oh, Cody Zeller, fire. No, I got a lot wrong here. Do I just always get the Steph floor game? I think I do. First quarter, 0 of 7 against Minnesota. It's just like, and then Cam Johnson, just a little bit disappointing, and DeAndre Ayton. It's between DeAndre Ayton and Rudy Gobert for me. Once again, just like last night, between Gallinari and Royce O'Neal. And the pick just could not have gone any worse. Gallinari 1 fantasy point, Royce O'Neal went for 35. What did Gobert finish with? I want to say Gobert finished. Those are my, again, 2 favorite plays in the mid-range for the center. Gobert, I think, went for 50 plus. He absolutely smashed. Whereas Ayton, oh man, Gobert, 29 points, 20 boards, 1 assist, three steals, and 3 blocks. And just to really, the cherry on top of all this, Ben Simmons triple-double tonight. After 2 slates ago, I get him at super low ownership in a great spot with no Embiid and just gets the immediate foul trouble. The next game in a much tougher matchup with Embiid back, smashes. All right, that's all the tilting out of the way, guys. Again, no one wants to hear that forever. So just but can only laugh at how bad it's been for me the last few days. Hoping my luck turns around. I am try to keep this positive, right? Get the tilting out of the way for a couple of minutes, but try to keep this positive. Let's hope for some better luck for myself and for you guys too. Hopefully you guys had a decent night. Hopefully you guys went Gobert over Ayton. Again, another one of those situations where just 50-50 decision that could not have gone any worse. All right, so let's talk about this 4-game slate. I don't think we have... Let's see, I think we only have 2 games out right now. Yeah, but no over-unders. Portland and Houston. Rockets are 2.5-point favorites, and Warriors and Suns. The Suns are 1.5-point favorites. So, on the Portland side. Portland's a team I do really like on the slate. Still no CJ McCollum, still no Yusuf Nurkic. So Damian Lillard at 10-6, I think makes for one of the better spin-ups of the slate. He played 39 minutes that last game. I expect high 30s minutes from him. He honestly kind of had his floor game. Like, he did not shoot the ball well. Still on for 50 fantasy points. And this is a much better matchup here against this Houston team. So I do really like Damian Lillard, one of my favorite plays at the top. And it's Cantor at 7-1. I liked him there against the Knicks. Played limited minutes, 25 fantasy points. The next night, plays 8 more minutes and goes for 51 fantasy points. No, but I think he is a good GPP play. Minutes have been a little up and down, right? 29, 27, 24, and 32 fantasy points. He's a good offensive player. The matchup is really solid. So, if he gets over 30 minutes tonight, I could see him definitely paying off this salary. So do like his upside if he's going to continue to get those decent minutes. Now, Carmelo Anthony in the mid-range, I actually think is a really solid play. Played 35 minutes last slate, shot the ball 21 times. Again, good matchup here as well. Revenge game narrative. Again, he only played, a couple games there for Houston. Covington is still out too, so they're pretty thin at the wing position. I assume Melo starts and probably gets his mid-30s minutes, so I do really like him there in the mid-range. I also have interest in Gary Trent. Now, my issue with Gary Trent is, again, he doesn't do anything besides score the ball, so that's always, a risk. Did go for 22 real-life points, 28 fantasy points. So, yes, he's viable, but there is some risk with him. Minutes should be there. Derek Jones Jr. does have a somewhat low floor. We saw it the last game, only 7 fantasy points. Again, a lower usage guy. You can go to him, but I don't love it. Kind of the same thing with Rodney Hood. Also reliant in the scoring. Again, okay option, but not a priority for me. Anthony Simons has played 23 and 29 minutes in back-to-back games. I think that's again, you can punt with him. Also, kind of like Gary Trent Jr. doesn't do a ton of the peripherals, which makes him a little riskier. So, yeah, there's some other value plays for sure in play on the Portland side. Giles, if you think Cantor gets in some foul trouble, you can punt with him. He's played 15, 19, and 16 minutes the last 3 games. He's actually a decent point per minute guy. Again, if you guys followed my content in the preseason, he won us a lot of money. So, that's it for the Portland side. And the Houston side, so Christian Wood is coming back at 8-7. He said he feels 100%. Got to keep an eye on this news. If there's no limitations for Christian Wood, then I do like him at the top. My concern with him is, even in close games, he still wasn't playing huge minutes. He was playing low 30s minutes. But he's a really good point per minute guy, and I love the matchup here against Cantor. So do really like the upside there in Christian Wood. John Wall, talk about him first at 7-3. So had a really nice game, but only played 24 minutes. So it's if we're only going to get mid-20s minutes from John Wall, then he's more of a contrarian play. So we'll have to keep an eye on this if they're going to continue to limit him. If we get minutes over 30, then I do like him in this up-tempo matchup. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the status and if there's going to be limitations there for John Wall. Victor Oladipo at 8-1. Back-to-back pretty bad games for his standards. I don't mind going back to the wall there. If John Wall gets limited again, you could look to Oladipo at 8-1. I think it'll be a little bit more of a contrarian play. But we've seen some big games from him already on this Houston team. We've seen 54, 44. So, the upside is there with Oladipo. It's just, John Wall getting a little healthier, Christian Wood back too. So, more higher usage guys back in that offense. The Boogeyman at 7-2, obviously he was just a lock and load play the last 3 slates. But with Christian Wood now healthy, I'm not paying 7-2 for him. Eric Gordon at 6-6, just a little pricey for me. Relying on the scoring, had a good shooting game last time out, but I don't love that. David Nwaba actually has been pretty solid. For a role player. He's been playing around 20 to 25 minutes. He's had 23, 35, 28, and 32 fantasy points. Now, he's got, a little bit lucky with the peripherals. 1 block, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Again, I think he's like an okay option here. Definitely someone you could look to in that range, but not a priority for me. And the rest of the guys are basically out of play for me. So moving on to the Lakers and the Pistons. So this game definitely has some blowout risk. This Detroit team is one of the worst in the league. LeBron James at 10-4. Decent option. He's been back-to-back pretty solid games for him. I forget what he finished with tonight, but I know he had a good game against the 76ers. So if you want to go LeBron as a spend up, I don't hate it. I prefer the price in AD, even though he's been a little bit more up and down. But again, now you're getting the $1,500 difference. Yeah, I'll just give the edge to Anthony Davis. Bigs have really been destroying Detroit, so I think AD is a pretty solid play there below 9K. The secondary plays to the Lakers are just that for me, just secondary plays. Schroeder has been really bad recently. Harrell at 5'8", if you think this game does not stay competitive, you could take a shot on him. I think he plays about mid-20s minutes no matter what. Kuzma's down to 4-3. Again, minutes around the low 20-minute mark. I guess that's okay. You guys know what KCP is by now. He's mid-20s minutes, very light in the scoring. And that's probably it for me. So like the rest of the Lakers, I don't have a ton of interest in. On the Detroit side, Jeremy Grant's at 8-4. He's the guy I like the best still. He's been their most consistent player. Been stuff in the stat sheet. Now, Blake Griffin is back, but like Jeremy Grant is the guy at the top. DeLon Wright, I'm not paying that price for him with Derrick Rose back. And Blake Griffin at 5'9", I'll just look elsewhere. Wayne Ellington, he just continues to shoot the ball lights out. I'm going to continue to fade. He's probably going to continue to burn me. But yeah, I'm not paying over 5K for Wayne Ellington when all he does is shoot threes. Josh Jackson at 4'8" with Blake Griffin back, secondary play. Mason Plumlee at 4'8", so minutes were limited for him because he literally fouled out, I think, in like 4 or 5 straight games. Last couple games, he has not been in like huge foul trouble and has played 28 minutes in each. So like, I think the plan is for him to play mid to high 20s minutes. If that's the case, then he's actually an okay value play if he can stay out of foul trouble. And that's probably it for me. Isaiah Stewart at 3-2 has been getting around the 15 to 20 minute mark if you want to punt there. For GPPs, but that's it for Detroit. On the Clippers side, so still no Kawhi Leonard, still no Paul George. Reggie Jackson had the big game last game at 7K. He played 39 minutes. Again, like he is a good offensive player, and we saw it that last game going for 20.7 boards, 8 assists. My concern is I think he might be a little bit over-owned after that most recent performance. I'm not saying Reggie Jackson's out of play, but I would not expect 50 again from him. And I do have some interest, but I just have a feeling the ownership might be inflated after that last game. Now, Ibaka versus Zubac, again, they're kind of splitting the center minutes. They're not playing alongside each other at all, so they hurt each other's upside. Zubac did go for 28 and 18 minutes. They're both secondary plays for me at their respective prices. Kennard at 6'5", it's just like little pricey for him. Batum at 6'3", honestly, a little overpriced. And Lou Williams, I think, is overpriced right now. Maybe if he has a better shooting game, they play him more, but this is just, I don't know what's going on with Lou Williams. He's just not himself. Now, sure, is that Lou Williams from last year still in there? Probably. And if he can get it going shooting, we might see an upside game. But it's like 5'8". It's hard to pay the salary right now when we're not getting a ton of minutes from him either. So it's like you can go to him in GPPs, but hard for me to really feel confident in that for like any other setting. Now, Terrence Mann at 5'4", if he starts a point guard again, I actually think he's a pretty decent play at this price. Again, a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. He had 10 points, 9 boards, 1 assist, 4 steals. He's a pretty solid defender, too. So Terrence Mann, I think, would be a decent play at the price if he starts once again. Marcus Morris, I was a little bit surprised he only played 24 minutes. I really thought he would play closer to the 30, maybe even 30-plus minute mark. If he's going to come off the bench again, then I think we probably get the similar minutes, which at 5K, it just makes him like a secondary option. I really thought he would play more. And then, I think Coffee got in the rotation a bit, but not someone I want to play even at min price. So that's it for the Clippers. Let's move on to Miami. Miami will have to monitor news once again. Jimmy Butler, I believe, is he clear the protocols going through? Yes, I don't think Jimmy will be available. Likely out again Thursday. I don't think he'll be available. Hero, Dragic, they both missed the game tonight. We'll see about their status. So that obviously changes the slate. Let's just say that all 3 of those guys are out once again. Then I'm going right back to Kendrick Nunn. He played 39 minutes. Only had 27 fantasy points. If I knew Kendrick Nunn was going to play 40 minutes tonight, he would just be the easiest lock of the slate, in my opinion. And does none of the peripheral stats. So it's like, yeah, if all those guys are out once again, I'm going right back to Kendrick Nunn, just because huge minutes from him, and there's just like no other guys really that you can rely on for scoring. So it's like him, and it's Bam and Adebayo at 9-2. Bam had a more floor game again. I was a little bit worried about the matchup there against Nikola Jokic. But if all those guys are out once again, I think Bam would be viable. It's not like we're getting him an amazing discount, but yeah, he would be in play. Definitely my priority though would be Kendrick Nunn if all these guards are out. Duncan's it's just too pricey for me for a guy that's only going to shoot threes, really. Olynyk I'll pass on. Iguodala didn't play. I'm surprised. Like, he only played 16 minutes. If you played him, you got a bit unlucky today because 26 and 28 minutes, and that was with Dragic playing. So, like, with Dragic out, I thought he'd play a little bit more. It went down to 16. So it's like, okay, don't have a good read on what his minutes will be, which makes him a little riskier. Precious Achiuwa, I think, had a decent game off the bench in 20 minutes. And will get 20 minutes again, though. Not confident in that. You can punt with him if you want to because he's close to min price. Avery Bradley got some all right run. He put 18 minutes. But there's really just not a lot I'm really confident in on this Miami bench. So, like, if all those guys are out, it's Nunn for me. And then Nunn and then Bam at the top. And then, maybe a guy like Iguodala or maybe a guy like Avery Bradley because they're so cheap, or Achiuwa. But if, let's just say Dragic is in and Hero and Jimmy are out, then downgrade Nunn. I wouldn't be as high on him and probably would prefer Dragic to Nunn. Or same thing with Hero. If Hero's in and the other two are out, then probably give the edge to Hero over Nunn, but it would be close. So we'll just have to keep an eye on the situation there with those the main Miami guys. And finally, Golden State and Phoenix. So Steph Curry, started 0-7, 0-8, something like that for me. So he's going to have his floor game tonight, which means if I get off him for this slate, he's going to go off for 70. That's I just know what's going to happen already. So, Steph Curry under 10K. The upside is there. The floor is low, though, and I got the floor with him tonight, unfortunately. Things could turn around, I guess. But the upside is 50, 60 plus easily for him, but floor is somewhat low. So, good GPP play for sure. I don't know if I can trust in cash. Wiggins, Oubre, secondary plays, their respective prices. Decent. I mean, Oubre, it is a revenge game, but, like, he's still not playing like a ton of minutes. He's playing he played 24 and 28. He's hovering around like 30, which is just not like amazing. If you're big into the revenge game narrative, sure. Again, Draymond I think is solid. Wiseman coming off the bench at 4-9. Curious to see how many minutes he plays tonight. I'm curious because he had a good start. He only played 16 minutes that last game. This Phoenix team is big, so we'll see. If he gets like decent minutes tonight and finishes with like mid-20s, then I think he would be a viable play. So I'm curious to see how much he plays tonight. The rest of the value, you guys know how I feel about these value. Kevon Looney, if he starts again at min price, you can go to him. I think if he starts, we'd probably get at least I would say 15 to 20 minutes, somewhere in that range. And let's finish up with Phoenix. So Phoenix, again, the team was out. I was pretty high on Chris Paul. The one guy did not had the big game. So it's just, again, one of those days where just couldn't get anything right. But yeah, Chris Paul at 8K, I think is a good option here. Devin Booker, I think, is he confirmed out again or is he questionable? I guess he's not confirmed out, so I'll have to keep an eye. Like this will change some things too. So like if Devin Booker plays, then like the Phoenix team in general, I don't know if I'd be super high about anyone. If Booker's out, we can look to Paul at the top. I guess we can go back to DeAndre Ayton. Let's just look at this. Last time I was pretty high on him against Washington in a smash spot. 25 minutes, 18 fantasy points. The next 4 games just absolutely goes off. 44, 62, 48, and 40 fantasy points. Play him tonight, and you guys obviously know what happened. So whatever I do with DeAndre Ayton, if I play him, make sure you fade him. If I fade him, he's going to break the slate. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So yeah, whatever I do with DeAndre Ayton, do the opposite. Bridges, Crowder, Cam Johnson, at these prices now at 6, 5.5, and 5.3, the prices all came up a bit. I think there would be like decent options if Booker's out. If Booker's in, I probably wouldn't get to any of them. And then, value-wise, I don't want to get to any of these guys on the bench either. So that's it for the team-by-team breakdown, guys, and I think that's going to do it for the video as well. So if you have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it if you have a like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos, go live. Again, as always, I'll be doing a YouTube live stream before lock to go over everything, answer all your guys' questions. Good luck, everyone. Let's pray for some really good luck tomorrow, and I will see you guys all later.